Okay, number 1. Find the remainder when x to the power of 2007 is divided by x squared minus 1. So here's our solution again. This is what it looks like, right? So x divided by x squared minus 1 is equal to the quotient plus the remainder divided by x squared minus 1. Multiplying both sides by the divisor x squared minus 1 yields, so x to the power 2007 is equal to q of x times the divisor x squared minus 1 plus r of x. Our divisor can be factored. What this means is if we substitute the value -1 or +1 to x, this thing here, this expression here would be 0. This q of x times x plus 1 times x minus 1. That would be equal to 0. And so, if x equals 1 or x equals -1, then it would just reduce to x to the power 2007 is equal to r of x. Right? So what we're basically doing is we're just factoring, we're just figuring out the values of x that would make our divisor 0. Basically, factoring them. So figuring out the values of x that would make our divisor equal to 0. And so again, we know that our remainder has to be either linear or constant, right? Because our divisor is quadratic. So since our divisor is quadratic, the degree of our remainder has to be less than 2, so 1 or 0. So let the remainder r of x be equal to ax plus b. Okay, so for x equals 1, diba? When x equals 1, it would, reduce to just this this line expression. So when x equal to 1, we just substitute x equals 1. So 1 to the power 2007 is equal to a times 1 plus b. So where did this come from? This is the remainder, right? The remainder is equal to ax plus b. Simplifying, 1 to the power 2007 is just 1. A times 1 is a plus b. So that's our first equation. Next is for x equals -1. For x equals -1, our x to the power of 2007. So -1 to the power of 2007 equals a times -1 plus b, right? So since 2007 is odd, then -1 to an odd power would just be equal to -1. A times -1 is -a plus b. These two, equation 1 and equation 2, so we have two equations in two unknowns, a and b. So if we combine them, basically we add them. So we just add equation 1 to equation 2. So 1 plus -1 would just be equal to 0, right? And then a plus -a is 0, so I did not write anything anymore. And then b plus b is 2b. b plus b is 2b. So 0 is equal to 2b. Divide both sides by 2, get b is equal to 0. b is equal to 0. Substitute that back to equation 1. So if b is equal to 0, then a is equal to 1. So therefore, our remainder, is, the remainder expression for remainder is ax plus b. So the remainder is actually equal to x. That's it.